So we are back with another video I probably should take down. I was sitting in my garage and I had this question that's been lingering in my mind for a minute, and I thought I might pose it to everybody else and see what they say. Now, this video is not going to be about toys in any capacity. I'll show some pictures and such, but it might be kind of boring, but it is what it is. I just want to get this stuff out there and kind of just talk and just see what everybody else is talking about. So anyway, so a couple years ago, my sister had asked me a question. Now, me and my sister, we are trying to find our way back in the middle. We haven't always been on the best terms and whatnot, but she asked me one day, we're chilling in the garage, and she asked if I think that she's a good person. Now, the question, it took me off guard because, first off, for you to ask me that, that would mean you have assessed that I am, somehow my opinion holds some type of weight, may not be absolute, but you kind of value my opinion, so I thought that was kind of touching given our state of relationship. But, and honestly, that's going to be a whole nother conversation on, what my response to her was. And, but I mean, to sum it up, it was pretty much some word salad. I didn't really know how to respond to it. I mean, I knew how to respond to it, but I didn't really want to crush her and, so on and so forth. But I just kind of played around with it, and I was like, I mean, what is a good person really? Like, ultimately, I think it is being a good person is subjective based on morals that were imposed on you, right? I mean, we have some things that you might agree with and I might agree with, like, you shouldn't be out here murdering people, right? Of course, but does me saying that and you saying that and us both being in sync with that mean that it's law, it's moral law, you know? Because like sometimes like different situations, like say war, when it comes to war, like you go on this side and your reasons just sound justified. Everybody talking, everything sounds justified. But then you go over to the other side and they sound like they fighting for a noble cause and good reason too, So on their end, they're looking like the good guy. They feel like they're the good side, and in turn, we feeling like we're the good side over here. So it's like it can be really subjective and kind of tricky. And I think for you to define like what is a good person, you would have to, I don't know, you'd have to be a little lenient on your parameters. Me personally, I kind of look at things objectively, and so that's why I kind of struggle with this question, because if someone were to ask me if I think I'm a good person, I think that I mean well. I would like peace. I don't harbor any hate towards any group. I wish that I was, honestly, I wish I was friends with every group, then I could learn something, teach them something, enrich our lives and stuff. So I don't harbor any hate towards any group, but I have had many experiences in my life where, bad thoughts have crept up, wishing ill will on somebody and stuff, so it's like if you were like this one way with somebody else and then someone else comes along that you don't like for whatever reason, and you're having these evil thoughts, but with this person that you do like, you going the extra mile and doing this and this with the person, trying to make their life easier, can you still call yourself a good person if you were like this one way with one person and then like this with another person? Is it based on who it is? Can you say it's a you are a good person if it's based on who you meet and the interactions and stuff? Even when you're pushed to your limits, experiencing like some type of altercation or something like that, like if you react in a violent way or this and this type of way, like, can you really say you're a good person? Are you judged on how you choose to respond to said altercation? Is there a standard for how you should respond to it? And then that's like, says who? Like, where do these parameters, these rules come from? And it's like when you look at it, everything has kind of been imposed on us, like as far as like, I'm not about to get all religious and shit, but we got religion and morals and things that kind of pushed on us, so it's like we're given this blank sheet, that tells us, okay, this is wrong because of this and this and this, but I don't know. There are other perspectives, in history and shit that felt, what they were doing was necessary. Just because a group of people come together and say, no, that's not a good thing. Like, who's to say what's what? You know, well, like, what's the situation? It's a big fuss. Like, what is a good person really? So my question to you guys is, what do you think a good person is? Do you think it varies? Do you think there is room? Do you think there is a wiggle room when it comes to being a good person? Are you the type that is very strict with your definition, so you don't really see anybody as like good people? Or are you the type that just sees everybody as good people and you kind of just take the bad and with the good, and pretty much just wanted to pose that question. Shoot the shit, gauge the audience, see what you guys talking about. Maybe I'll do another video soon. Maybe not. Till then, I would love a like. If not, I'll catch you guys on the next one. Peace.